Good morning, everyone. I'm here to provide clarity on the current Bitcoin market, share my personal journey, and introduce resources that can assist you in navigating the crypto space. First, let's just do a quick market overview, and I'll share with you some of the recent news, what's happening with Bitcoin as of today, May 6, 2025. The current price, we're trading right about 93,500, right around there, which is a slight dip of about 0.39% in the last 24 hours. The market sentiment, the market shows mixed trends with Bitcoin holding steady, while Ethereum and XRP have seen slight declines. Institutional activity, there's been significant ETF inflows of 425.5 million US dollars, and that indicates a continued institutional interest in Bitcoin. That's one that really excites me as well, because since they say follow the money, and that's the institutions are flowing money into this space. Upcoming events, investors are cautiously awaiting the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision, which could influence market dynamics. That's, I believe, should be happening today. So just to share with you my personal experience on this path, back in about 7 or 8 years ago, I was training a business person, and he was really, I respected him as far as wealth and all that. He had accomplished a lot. He had recommended at that time to buy, Mark said, Mark, at least have one Bitcoin. That's the thing. So I made it. At the time, Bitcoin was under 10,000. Now it's at 95,000 plus. But I just took his advice. Sometimes when I feel like something is right and I hear it, I don't need to understand every little detail about it. If I feel that it's I feel like it's what's right in my heart. So I just made an effort to do that. So that set me off on, Bitcoin. What is understanding Bitcoin? And still, that was 7 years ago, and even as many hours, I've put in hundreds of hours of study, and I'm still learning. It's a lot to learn about it. It's more complex than you think when you seek to understand the technology behind it and all that. So for me, I feel like there's basically 3 different ways I'm looking at it currently. That's the long-term perspective. I'm thinking, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. That's what is long-term for me at the moment. So I'm thinking about that. And word on the street is that Bitcoin is going to grow 30. This is from my educators that I've listened to, that Bitcoin speculated to grow 30 to 60% every year, year after year, over the next 10 years. That could lead to prices of $1 million Bitcoin. Some educators feel that Bitcoin, even by 2034, which is 9 years from now, could be even 10 million. That's the potential. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's what they're saying is potentially. And the reason why that can happen, I feel like, is because everybody, just the money's inflowing into it. Eventually, you'll learn if you don't know about it, but it's what's Bitcoin, everything that's investable, they have the market value. And so Bitcoin has a market cap of about $2 trillion. That's very high, but that's the market cap. So that means how much money is in there, basically, simply. And they're thinking that it can go over 10 trillion, over 20 trillion over the next 5 to 10 years. So that's another big part of why I'm so bullish. And for the first time, the regular people that's not owners of the major chains and multi-millions, multi-billionaires, people can get in before the institutions get in. So even now, because there's not a lot of clarity in the regulations, and that's why there's a lot of big banks and big businesses that are not in yet. And like, I know I'm not going to say the name, but I have this one company that I've been with that does like financial investing, that kind of thing. They don't even offer a crypto. They don't even have it available. It's because, and that tells me how early we are as individual investors. We can buy now, even before they can buy. These big name investor financial people, we can buy before they can buy. And so that's what that's what gets me so excited. Right. So long term, I'm in. So now a couple things too I want to mention that not everybody thinks about long term. I feel is there's different ways to do it long term. One way that I found, and I got this from actually from a different educator altogether, but there's different retirement accounts. There's a personal Roth, ROTH. So a personal Roth, if you live in the United States, it's not financial advice, just do your own research if you're interested. A personal Roth, depending on your age, after you get past 50, the USA can give you what's called a catch-up, meaning you can invest more. And I'm 56, so I'm in that catch-up phase. But a personal Roth, you can, depending on your age, is about $7,000 to $8,000 a year. At my age limit, it's $8,000 a year max, right? So what that means simply is that you take the money from your job or your business, the after-tax income. So say you grossed 100,000 and your after-tax income was 70,000. So just say that's your after-tax income. You pay taxes, or that's the income you pay taxes on. Sorry, talk to your accountant. This is my basic understanding. So after taxes, and then you save your money into the Roth umbrella. And what that does is it can grow tax deferred. So it grows, and then when you say for example, you put 100,000 saved into a Roth. Say it grew to $1 million. Then when you go to take that $1 million out, there's no income tax. That is, I think, is huge, because income taxes usually range in our country between 20 and 40%, depending on where you're at. But who wants to pay any income taxes? I don't care if I have the lowest income tax or the highest. I'd rather pay zero. So I think, so for me, paying taxes now and then saving into the Roth is very awesome and very exciting. Another exciting thing I feel for long-term investing, if you own your own business, if you have an EIN number, if you are an LLC, something like that, talk to your accountant. But you can set up a self-directed 401k solo Roth. So self-directed, because you're being self-directed, you're making your own decisions. And even if you have investors, they can help you with this, or financial advisors. But it's a solo 401k Roth. And what the benefit of that is it has much higher contribution limits. Even for my age bracket, up to, and there's little details involved, and do your own research, but up to, for me, at the age bracket, up to $76,500. So that's $76,000 after taxes, right? And then you pay taxes, and then you and then save up to that much tax after tax. So later it can grow and you can retrieve it later with no income tax. That's the idea behind the Roth. ROTH. Do your own research, but ROTH, the Roth. You have a personal Roth in the USA. I'm not sure about other countries, but then you have the solo 401k Roth, and that's for business owners. And wow, they're powerful tools, long-term, very, very powerful tools. All right, let's see here. All right, so this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. So we have been watching this for the last 10 days, and now we're back at support. So, and that's the thing, will we hold support and go up, or will we break support and go down? That's what we're watching for. You know, personally, I'm still accumulating. So the lower the prices go for me, I feel I'm more excited. If we drop down to 70,000, which probably is really unlikely, I'm just saying I would rather that happen so that we can buy more now, right? As the price goes up, it's harder, costs more fiat to buy, right? So this is the scalp look, or this is not actually the scalp look. This is more of my swing trade zone, right? Because I do, so we're talking about 3 different ways to look at it. So we just got through talking about Bitcoin for the long term, which is for me 5, 10, 20 years from now, long term. Now, in the short term, we can also maximize Bitcoin with what's called swing trading or scalp trading. It is not for everyone. You have to have some risk tolerance, and you have to be motivated enough to learn. I feel for most people, buying and holding for the long term is such a simple process. Just continue getting educated, because it's going to help your conviction to stay in it long term the more you know about it. But swing trading, scalp trading, I feel it's kind of like, you know, it's almost like it's high risk. It's more risk. That's the thing. And it's more steady. But if you my uncle always has said that our family knows how to squeeze a dollar, right? So when I first started buying into Bitcoin, I always wanted to know how to get the best price. And this is how you can tell when to get the best price. So I like to buy at support levels, right? We are currently at a support. I'm buying right now. I mean, not at this moment, but every day, every week, I'm stacking sats, is what we would say. Buying more sats, buying more Bitcoin. So I'd rather buy it at support, which is at 93,000 or almost 94,000, right? Would you rather buy it at 94,000, or would you rather buy it at 97,000? I mean, come on, it makes sense, right? So we watch patiently, and when it goes to support, I buy. That's what I like to do. Sometimes up here, we get what's called FOMO, and like, oh, because it can break out and go from 96,000 to 107. So would you rather buy at 96,000, or would you rather buy at 107? So you can get FOMO, fear of missing out. But ideally, I personally like to buy at support. Now, if I'm not really shorting Bitcoin right now, but you could short it in the red. That's what traders do it all the time. Matter of fact, this is another tool from the Academy. We are currently at what looks like right here. This is what's called swipe coin. This is on the 15-minute time frame. This bar and this bar are levels inside of swipe coin. This is not financial advice, but they're just telling us where the levels are. Currently, what do you see right here? I see, I'm going to save this because it's a new level. BTC 5625. Okay. It's a new level. This is scalp. I'm not interested in scalping. My hope is that we hold support, but I'm just tracking it, just watching it. I'm buying at support, but yeah, if we keep going down, actually, for me, it's better time to buy because we're in a downward mode. I'd rather buy at 93,000 than buy at 95,000. So that's the idea. So we get several. If you're in the academy and you like to scalp trade or swing trade, these are the kind of levels. This calls it out for you. I didn't do anything to generate this. What people are doing right now, I promise you, in the academy, are shorting Bitcoin right here. But now what could happen is so for me, I see that we're in a strong level of 4-hour support. We're at a 4-hour support. Am I going to short the strongest, most powerful crypto? That's not even a cryptocurrency, digital, whatever. Am I going to short that? I don't think so. I see us at a strong 4-hour level of support. So I'm not going to short, but I guarantee you people with a high risk tolerance are taking that chance right here. And it may go down. And personally, I wouldn't mind it if it does, because it just means better price to just buy more. My mission is to assist over 200 individuals in organizing and understanding their Bitcoin investments through the Academy's resources. My background is fitness. I've been doing fitness for 40 plus years. I was a professional bodybuilder, natural. And that's where I feel the strongest in my skills. I'm learning just like you. Since 2017, I've been on this journey. So I am just learning and just sharing with you the tools and resources, and sharing with you that you can have access to the tools and resources. So if you're interested in learning more or have questions about Bitcoin, feel free to reach out or comment below. I'm offering a complimentary consultation to discuss how the Academy can support your crypto journey. I appreciate your time, your energy for checking this out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any currencies you would like me to look at, please let me know. We can do that too. And be blessed. And remember that health is wealth. Cash flow is king. Cash is queen. And credit is freedom. Think about that. Health is wealth. Cash flow is king. Cash is queen. And credit is freedom. I'll let you think about that. Be blessed, and see you next time. I'll be doing fitness content later today. Bye-bye. See you for now. Bye-bye.